Hey there everyone, welcome to Violet's Dream Tarot. So today we're going to be doing the love predictions for February reading. I've already done the general predictions reading for February, so I'll be linking the general reading for February below in case you haven't seen it already, because obviously these two readings go very well together. So I'm sorry for the sort of higgledy-piggledy look of the piles today. I have had such a hard time trying to get these ornaments to stand up or to sort of lie back because they're ornaments that are quite heavy, and they're just not made to sort of lean like this, but when I stood them up it didn't look good from this angle. Like, you couldn't tell very well what they were, so this has to be slanted to the side like that because his tail at the back means that I can't lie him backwards and have him facing upwards because he's just gonna fall flat. And equally this one is a little bit to the side as well because I couldn't get him to, because of his talons and his hat, I couldn't get him to be a perfect angle on his back. So I apologize for the slightly scruffy look of today's piles, but it was necessity and I really wanted to use these cute ornaments on the piles today. They were just calling out to be used. So we're going to take a look at the piles. As I said before, this is going to be your love predictions for February. So what's coming up in your love life, any changes, any big events or experiences, or just the general mood maybe of your love life in February. And as I said, it goes well with the general predictions reading for February, which is linked below. I want to say a big thank you, as always, to all of my lovely subscribers and to all of my lovely patrons, including Kelly, Alexandra, Joan, Cara, Nicole, and Mia. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for the love that you show the channel. Thank you to everyone who's helped me to get to 15,000 subscribers as well. We're moving along nicely, and please do consider subscribing if you haven't already, because it means that you never miss out when I post a video, and it also really helps out my channel as well. So let's take a look at the piles more closely. And obviously with this being a monthly love predictions reading, we don't just choose a pile, we also choose a gnome in today's reading, so that makes it more of a layered reading for you, makes it feel more personalized. The piles will be your main reading, and what the gnomes do is they give you your channeled messages, and they also give you some extra cards as well. So hoping that they don't fall down when I put them back down again, on pile 1 we have got the Fey Tarot and Malpuss. It's a really cute little bat-winged kitty. Just ask yourself what's coming towards me in my love life in February, or what changes might occur in love in February, something like that. On pile 2, we have got Lucky Black Cat. He's got a little broomstick, and we will be using the Tarot in Wonderland for pile 2, and it's this tail that's stopping me from balancing him properly. Okay. And on pile 3 we've got Owlocen, cute little owl, and we've got the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot. Okay, so those are your piles, and he's gonna have to go like that. It took me forever to get him in the right position. Then your gnomes, we're also going to choose a gnome. So we've got Gnome A, Gismund. For your extra messages, we've got Gnome B, Gunvald. Gnome C, Geir. And Gnome D, Gjord. Okay, so you don't have to choose a pile and a gnome straight away if you struggle to choose more than one thing at one time. That's okay. You can choose your pile and then come back and choose your gnome afterwards. It's fine to choose more than one pile or more than one gnome, particularly if you really can't choose between them. If you're feeling drawn to like one pile and then two gnomes, that's fine. Bear in mind that there will probably be less messages overall that resonate with you in that, if that's the case, but as always, take the messages that resonate and leave what don't. This is a general reading on YouTube. It's not a private reading, so some things will be for other people in your group and not necessarily for you. Ultimately, choose with your intuition. Don't choose your favorite deck or the ornament that you think is the cutest or the gnome that you think is the sweetest. Choose where you're feeling pulled with your intuition, because that will give you the most accurate reading, and at the end of the day, that's what we're here to do. So when you're ready, take your time, and I will be getting started with pile number 1. Hey there, Group 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose Malpuss and the Fey Tarot, then this is going to be your reading. We'll see what's coming up for you in February in love. Just pop him. Where should we put him so we can see him? Yeah, maybe there. Okay, so let's see what's coming up in your love life in February. This is your main reading. As I said before, the gnomes will give you your channeled messages and your extra cards once you've finished watching this reading. And please do subscribe as well, Group 1, if you haven't already. That means that you never miss an upload from my videos, and it also means that you are helping out my channel and really helping me. Okay, so what do we have here? We've got the Three of Cups, which is definitely a nice start, and then the Lovers. Great. And then we have Justice. So two major arcana cards there. Gemini and Libra showing up, so there's a strong air energy for this pile. So yeah, with the Three of Cups and the Lovers and Justice, it kind of feels like issues that you've been having in your love life kind of get resolved or get improved at least. In February, Justice suggests that talks go well, decisions are made in your favour, things work out smoothly or fairly. And with the Three of Cups and the Lovers, this kind of tells me that you're probably going to be spending some quality time with a lover, spending happy time. There might even be an anniversary or something coming up, or a birthday, or something else to celebrate, maybe like a work accomplishment or something. And because the Three of Cups usually comes in when we are gathering together to celebrate, or where we have happy news that we want to share, or where our loved ones all come together to congratulate us or celebrate with us. So that's all very positive. If you're not in a relationship, or you don't currently have someone on your mind, this may not be your pile. We might get some more messages. Obviously we're going to get quite a lot more as we go through the reading, but there might be something here that explains what's going on for those of you who don't have someone in mind. But I think most of you, this is going to be for someone that you're in a relationship with, someone that you're dating. It could be that you meet someone and start dating in February, but it does seem very like, I'm proud of you and I'm happy to spend time with you, or we have ongoing issues that we're resolving. So maybe it's just the fact that you are happier about your approach to love in general, if there's no specific person on your mind, or that you are just improving your approach. You don't feel as down about it anymore. You feel a lot more upbeat, a lot more ready to get back out there, maybe. Yeah, romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So it's definitely an improvement of either your attitude towards love or a particular relationship that you are in. So we've got this interesting card from the Lover's Oracle, which says, deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. So that fits very nicely with the Justice message, doing what's right. Nothing more from that deck. So sort of having the right outcome, or the best possible outcome for all involved. There's a lot of fairness and sort of smoothness, happy ending feeling to this month. Ooh. Okay, we've got a few cards from the Whispers of Love Oracle. So you've got number 25, Romance. Lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection. So that's really nice. That fits so nicely with the Lovers, the Three of Cups, the romantic feelings. So for those of you in relationships or dating, there are some very positive experiences to look forward to in February with regards to spending time with your loved one, really feeling cared for, or feeling like you have their full attention and like equally they appreciate the things you do for them. For those of you who do not have someone in your mind, you really may meet someone very special in February, or you just massively improve your overall approach to love, and it just feels like it's so much more possible for you and you have so much more enthusiasm for the whole subject. So we also have simple acts of kindness, number 5. Kindness energizes you and brings happiness to those around you. So that goes back to that doing things for you and also appreciating what you do. Forgiveness, number 29, nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments, and I think that fits nicely with justice, about things being smoothed over or wrapped up, and a nice happy ending results from that. And number 24, focus on love, look for the good in everyone. So for those of you who aren't in relationships or aren't dating anyone, this is more to do with you sort of not feeling jaded or disappointed by that, and just instead choosing to see every day or every week as an opportunity to find love, or at least to experience love with the people around you. It doesn't have to be romantic love, but experiencing that love and doing things that are kind, and in return having people do kind things for you as well. There's a big focus on sharing and balance and harmony in this month. It feels like any sort of problems are quite nicely evened out by another person's personality or another person's actions and responses to what's going on. If you have been having difficulties with your partner, then this is about you sort of recognizing their good qualities and saying, look, I didn't like the fact that this happened, or I wish that you'd made different choices here, or that you'd, maybe stuck up for me more or behave differently in this situation, but I can see that you have a good heart, or I don't want this relationship to end just because of that one thing. I know that there's so much more to you than that. So we've got changed in the night, number 11. You have changed quickly. Wow. Honestly, I'm quite wary of saying when we get these kinds of readings that you might meet someone and it's like a whirlwind romance kind of thing, because, a month is quite a short period of time. But I really do feel that if you don't have anyone in mind and you felt very drawn to this pile, then you could very suddenly meet someone in February or in late January who is just very much clicks with you. Honestly, and for those of you who are in relationships, it's like a problem or a difficult situation sort of resolves itself overnight. So either your partner or you just randomly backtracks on something that you've been doing or saying, just like, this was a problem for me and it felt massive, but now I've reflected on it, I actually don't mind. Or, a difficult situation just suddenly dissolves or doesn't come to the outcome that you thought it would. Maybe you've been bracing yourself for a terrible thing to happen, or really worried that something bad's going to happen, and ultimately it doesn't. Just all kind of fizzles out, and it's like, wow, that's such a sudden change to my expectations. Number 27, strange Valentine. Love is strange. And I love that you got that card, because obviously Valentine's Day will be in February. So I think you will have someone to spend Valentine's Day with. Or you may be getting a card from a secret admirer maybe. Or you may be just unexpectedly end up having a wonderful Valentine's Day with someone you care about, or just through talking to them while it is Valentine's Day. I think this love is strange message really fits with your reading as well, because of these messages here about something working out well, or a situation suddenly changing and you're able to forgive, or it just improves and you're just sort of like, yeah, I mean, people are like that. People are complicated, or relationships aren't always straightforward, and sometimes we have to work through things that are quite difficult, or that test us as people, or test our boundaries in certain ways. Not in the point that they're a deal breaker, but in the point where it's just like, this is maybe triggering certain things for me that is letting me know I need to work on it. Will-o'-the-wisp, number 62, treasures hidden in the shadows. So that kind of says to me, in every difficult situation or apparent problem, there is a learning opportunity, or there is something good to be gained from it. And with, going back to that Love is Strange card, I just sort of keep looking at it, because that's always been one of my favourite paintings from Gismund, who made this deck. I've followed her work for over 10 years. It sort of is saying to me, almost like you're thinking, okay, well, you are weird, but you're my weirdo, kind of thing. You're thinking about your partner in those terms, yes, you're unreasonable sometimes, but you are my unreasonable person, and we can muddle along together. So here we have number 81, Unersättlichkeit, insatiability. Number 3, geben, giving. Number 54, Vergeltung, revenge. And number 46, Unabhängigkeit, independence. Okay, so yeah, we've got the insatiability, and this card kind of shows up where it seems like nothing is ever enough. So it can be, for example, that you feel as though your partner flirts with other people and it's like, is this relationship not enough for you? You need attention from elsewhere as well to sort of boost your ego. Or it could be things like, I do so much for my partner and it just seems like they don't appreciate it, like it's never enough for them. And these sorts of things, these sorts of thoughts and patterns are going to change around in February because you start to feel a lot more appreciated or a lot more noticed. You could be the person that your partner thinks of as being insatiable, like you have all these demands or you seem to not appreciate the efforts that they make, and that completely changes in February. If you're not in a relationship, then I would maybe interpret that card as you thinking like, oh my god, I have all of these criteria that I need to fulfill. People telling me I'm being too picky, or maybe I like being open to dating a lot of people, so I struggle, even though I want a relationship, I struggle with the idea of settling down because it frightens me that I have to pick someone. Any of those thoughts could be going through your mind, or that could be what people are saying to you about your dating strategy. Okay, and then with this revenge card, this is when you feel as though something that someone did meant that you went through a rough time. So as you can see, there's someone sort of pushing a boulder onto these two people down below, and it's when we're carrying around feelings of like, if you'd been there for me, this wouldn't have been so difficult for me, or if you hadn't have done this, I would never have had to go through this. You know, it's like where if their behavior had been different, things would have been better for you, and you're carrying that round with you. Okay, and I do sense that a little bit with this forgiveness message. Also with the independence, as you can see, it's a darkly coloured card like these other two, so that means that it's a sort of shadow side card. So the independence card, there's someone who is on an island and they're pushing away the boat. Okay, they don't want anyone to be able to reach them. And the meaning of that card is like unhelpful or unhealthy independence, where you just don't want anyone's input, or you don't want anyone's help ever, or anyone else's opinion. You just want to do things by yourself. It's like independence is a spectrum, but with that card it's sort of gone too far. Okay, so all of those are showing up as potential issues in the relationship, or things that are being worked on in February, because it's a very positive month for your relationship. And we've got giving here, number 3, with someone giving a gift. Now, it may be that you get a physical gift. Obviously, Valentine's Day is coming up, and if you do have something, going back to the 3 of Cups, like an anniversary or a birthday, or something else to celebrate coming up in this month, then obviously you might be getting a physical gift, but it doesn't have to be that. It can be the gift of someone's time and attention. It can be the gift of someone's commitment to you. Promises can be the gift of just thinking of you throughout the day and sending you something that shows that they were thinking about you. I think gift giving as a love language is often misinterpreted because it's often not physical gift giving. It can be sharing an important memory with you, or it can be taking you to a place that has meaning, or letting you in on a song that's very important to them. So expect there to be a lot more meaningful sharing in February. Just really feels like February is a lot more bonding than the previous months have been. So harte Arbeit, number 13, hard work. Begabung, number 52, talent. And then number 40, Stress, stress. So the hard work and stress obviously go quite well together. It's possible that someone's not been attentive in the relationship enough because they have just been so consumed by other things. So they've been so busy at work, or they've been thinking so much about this project that they haven't really had time mentally or emotionally for really giving of themselves in the relationship, which obviously can become a bone of contention. So that's something that is also probably being contributing to this feeling of being unappreciated or not being treated correctly. And then with Begabung, talent, it's like recognizing your worth. It's like saying, oh, you did that really well, or, you know, I'm so pleased that I'm with you because you're special to me. You know, it's that kind of recognition. Let's get a goddess card, actually. So Freya, bold, unleash your adventurous side, take risks and be daring. So trying something new. It's like a coming out of your shell vibe, honestly, in February. It's like we've become so complacent, or I've become so stuck in my comfort zone, or I've just muddled along with the situation without sort of, you know, trying to address it or trying to improve anything. And now I'm ready to make changes. Let's get you a healing message in love for February for those of you that need some healing. We've got a lot. Okay. Okay, we've got a few. So you might find that just one of these is for you, but I feel the need to take all of them because they did literally all jump out. So love your body, number 21. So self-esteem issues. Show self-respect, number 29. This can also be just insecurity about one particular area of your body. It doesn't have to be the body as a whole. It's a no, number 16. And develop stronger concentration, number 8. So that message really fits with the not appreciating each other enough, or not having the sort of mental space for the relationship enough. I love how this card is a phoenix and it says purification, transmutation on the card. It's like the rebirth or the release of anything painful or heavy. It's a no, surrounded by all these other cards, could suggest that you've been aware of these issues for a while but haven't been working on them. Could just be about saying no and asserting boundaries a lot more clearly. Then we have bankier, banker. Okay, so this card seems to suggest money and work really being at the forefront of someone's mind. Maybe there's been stress surrounding like mortgage payments, or trying to buy a house together, move in together, maybe wanting to have a certain amount of money so you can start a family. Could be that you've been in relationships recently where there's been a mismatch with regards to earnings, or someone just not wanting to spend money by going out and doing things because they see that as a waste of money, whereas you want to go out and enjoy yourself, or, you know, vice versa. It just feels like there's been a rut that you've fallen into, either in your love life in general or in a relationship, and February just brings about this very positive turning point where you're not in that rut anymore. So your personality card, for those of you that don't have someone in mind, this is who is coming towards you in love in February. Generous, outgoing, warm-hearted, unconventional. Possible interests for this person are catering, dietitian, real estate, mechanics, family traditions, cooking, entertaining, charity, community, and politics. So it's quite an earthly sign, I would say. If I had to pick like a sun sign or moon sign or rising sign for that person, it would probably be an earth one. Yeah, and the way that those cards work is typically one or two adjectives and one or two interests will really stick out at you, and those will be ones that fit your person, and the rest maybe not so much. So let's just get you an advice card and then we'll move on to your charms and dice. Group 1. Okay, so new moon in Capricorn is your advice card. Step up and lead. So that fits with this it's a no, like assertiveness and boundaries. It also fits with the Freya, the bold message. So let's see what your charms have to say now, group 1. Aha, interesting. So we've got the locked heart. So someone who has just been really closed off, love-wise, recently, and that could be you or it could be your partner. You might have been, as I said, feeling really like disillusioned with the idea of finding love. You could be feeling as though your partner just isn't mentally in the relationship, or you could be the one that's been so busy that you haven't really had time to properly focus upon your relationship or upon dating or anything like that. So it's this locked heart that you're finally getting through to. Okay, so we've got the apple there, which is a sign of healthy relationships. We've also got the lone wolf, which is this symbol of loneliness and wanting to have more support around you. So it's like, I want to address these issues because I want to, you know, have it out and really understand what's going on. I'm just going to close this curtain a bit. The sun is like shining directly on my face. Okay, so what else have we got? We've got the Page of Pentacles charm, the ballerina. Okay, and that fits nicely because I said probably an earth sign, or someone who has a maybe majority earth in their chart, or who has quite a dominant earth sign. It doesn't have to be their sun sign necessarily. So that would be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. But the Page of Pentacles is also a message about taking things slowly, one step at a time, not rushing things. We have the British charm here. So for some of you, there's a connection to Britain through your name or surname. Someone's really interested in British culture maybe, or works for a British company. Family history goes back to Britain, something like that. It's interesting to me how there's a Page of Pentacles and the coin landing quite near the banker card though, because the Page of Pentacles is someone who saves slowly but surely and is very, very good with money. So it's possible that you have been trying to save money and your partner feels stifled by that because they want to go out and do things and you see that as frivolous, or vice versa. But I think it's trying to find some kind of healthy medium in between that, where you're not just wasting money, if that is the case, but that you're also having sort of quality time together that's not just in the home watching a movie, you know, just actually going out and doing something for a change. I think is really important. We've got the angel feather here. So angels are around you. They are helping you in your love life. They have heard your prayers, or they have heard and seen your frustrations, and they are now around you and helping you. And we do have the crocodile. Now the crocodile comes in when you feel manipulated, or when there is a person who sort of maybe always tries and plays something to their advantage, or mainly has their own best interests at heart. So with that landing on the focus on love card, see the good in everyone, it's possible that you have sort of been seeing someone or judging someone more harshly than they maybe deserve. And I don't say this often in readings, but it feels as though you've sort of either seen something from your perspective purely and thought, well, they're really mean and really selfish or whatever, or people are judging you as being selfish because of something that you've done and you feel like that's harsh or unfair. So just take that how that resonates with you. We'll move on to your dice now to get your final messages in this reading, and then you can move on to your gnome. So we're rolling the second set of dice for you, the original dice. These ones. There's the house there for those of you that are looking to move in, or saving, or trying to pay a mortgage. And we're rolling all 9 of them for you. Okay. It's interesting that made 2 and 9 29 when I put the dice down, and this one, this card here, show self-respect, is number 29. Oh, and so is this one. Forgiveness, that's number 29 as well. Wow. Okay, so we've got the arrow, which is Sagittarius energy. It also symbolizes ambition and determination, having a clear goal that you're trying to achieve. We've got ups and downs with the theatrical masks. Can also be about hiding how you're really feeling. We have the torch, lighting the way, knowing which way to go, being sort of led down the right path. Angels probably having something to do with that. We also have the book, which is interesting. Now, this can be interpreted a few different ways. It can be, for example, that you are sort of reading someone like a book, like they say something, but you know that that's not actually how they're feeling because you can tell so well what they're feeling without them needing to say anything. Or it can be about writing rather than reading. So, for example, writing a lot in a diary, or sending out some important documents because you're trying to get a house, for example. Or it can be reading in the sense of like reading and learning, or reading as escapism sometimes. Just take it how it fits your situation, because it will be different for lots of people. We've got the shadow self down here, being afraid of the sort of darker sides of your nature, or being afraid of flaws or problems in a relationship. We've got the downward pointing arrow. Okay, now that's pointing at giving. So maybe when someone starts becoming more generous and open, that's when you start to remind yourself of the positive aspects of their nature, given the two cards that are interacting there. We've got the tree for growth and stability, security. Can also be a symbol of health, learning. Maybe that goes back to the book, learning a lot, still growing as a person. And finally, the shooting star. And this is such a nice way to end this particular reading, because the shooting star says that a wish will be granted, or a dream will come true, or something will work out really, really lovely for you. And just throughout the whole of this reading, I felt that things changed dramatically for the better in February. So if I was to round up your reading in like a couple of sentences, I would say either you've been struggling in love recently to find love. You may have gone off the whole idea of love because of recent experiences, or you've been struggling in your relationship, maybe thinking that your partner doesn't want to commit, or that they're not sort of mentally in the relationship enough, or that they've done something recently that hurt you and you're not sure how to move past it. In February, there is a dramatic change that takes you out of the rut, or takes you out of the complacency, the comfort zone that you seem to have got into with regards to love. Everything changes. There's a positive time spent with each other, probably on Valentine's Day as well. As a nice Valentine's Day in it for you, I think. There is more attention, appreciation, etc. For those of you that aren't in a relationship, you probably find someone, or you just have so much more enthusiasm for the idea of love. It's just like such a sudden 180-degree turn for the better. For the better. It's a massively positive change. So I think that rounds it up quite nicely, this shooting star message about something working out beautifully, or a wish being fulfilled for you. So I'm very pleased to be able to give you such a positive message, Group 1. I hope you've enjoyed this part of your reading. Now you can go and choose your gnome if you haven't already chosen. Just go back to the introduction, the start of the video. If you have chosen and you remember which gnome it was, then just jump to the timestamps and go to your gnome to get your extra messages, your channeled messages, and your extra cards. So thank you for being here, and I'm going to move on now to pile number 2. Hey there, Group 2, welcome to your reading if you chose the Lucky Black Cat and the Tarot in Wonderland. This is going to be your main reading for your love life in February. And what the gnomes will do is they will give you some extra messages, including some extra cards and also your channeled messages. So please do subscribe, Group 2, if you haven't already. That really helps out my channel, and it also means that you never miss any videos that I upload. Let's see what's coming up. Ooh. Okay, so this one flew out of the deck, and that's the 9 of Swords. Okay. Then we have the Hierophant, the King of Wands, and the 2 of Swords. Okay, so Taurus, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius showing up here, so quite a few zodiac signs. So with the 9 of Swords and the 2 of Swords being there is this definite feeling of I'm not sure what to do. Okay, both of these sort of point towards, I guess, indecisiveness. The 9 of Swords is like worry, and things that keep you awake at night, where you're wondering, you know, should I be doing this? Is this the right thing to do? And the 2 of Swords, as you can see, shows this sort of crossroads feeling where you're not really sure which option is correct. So I kind of feel like you're reaching this point of needing to make an important decision, but you're so afraid of making a choice you'll regret. Okay, that's really what's coming through for me. The Hierophant is also showing that you're trying to be a good person. You don't want to make the wrong choice and, you know, be seen as a bad person. So some of you might be wondering whether a particular relationship is right for you to continue with, potentially. There's this feeling of, I'm not sure if I want this to really go any further, or it's getting to the point now where this person is expecting more commitment and I'm not sure I can offer that, or I do want more commitment but they're not showing it to me, so I kind of feel like I'm better off cutting my losses, but equally, you know, I don't want to do that and then regret it. It's all of these sorts of feelings that are coming up, and there's this feeling of, I don't want to be the bad guy. Like, I don't want to be the bad person who breaks off the relationship for no firm reason, because I kind of feel like you feel as though you don't have a clear reason. It's more like a feeling of, I'm not sure we're compatible, or, you know, I want this now and you're not ready for that yet, but I am, kind of thing. So it's that loggerheads of what I need and what you're prepared to provide me. So there is that feeling going on. It could be that you aren't in a relationship and you're feeling really, really stressed because you think you're reaching a point in your life where you need to be settling down now if you want to maybe have children, or if you want to get married, for example. You're really thinking like, my time is running out. Okay, so the King of Wands is showing how you're very focused upon the long-term future and what you want to achieve. So let's see what the oracle cards have to say, because this is a very interesting reading, very different from group 1's reading. Start here. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So that's a nice message for those of you that, you know, don't have someone in your life right now and really, really want to be in a relationship. But I think it's also a nice message for those of you that are worried about breaking up a relationship that's not terrible, but that just isn't sort of ticking your boxes. You know, it's sort of like you're feeling, there's nothing that wrong. Like, I feel like if I break it off, I seem unreasonable because they haven't cheated on me, or they haven't been violent towards me, or they haven't sort of, you know, said anything that's unforgivable. They're just not quite meeting my needs, and you're wondering if that's reasonable. So I will say to you, you know, as much as you might be worried about that person's feelings or opinions of other people, it is always okay and acceptable to end a relationship for any reason. You don't need to give the other person a reason. You might prefer to, because, you know, when we're on the receiving end of that, it can feel a bit crap to have a relationship ended without a reason and closure. But ultimately, you do not have to give a reason. You're not feeling it is more than enough reason to end a relationship, because in fact, to stay in a relationship where you're not really sure you want to be is kind of a bit cruel to the other person. If you think about it, you're sort of wasting their time as well as your own. So we have this card as well. A message for you. I'm thinking of you this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. So we'll interpret that differently based on the situations that I'm seeing here, the different variables. So for those of you in a relationship, if your person that you're dating isn't really showing you the commitment or the attention that you need and want by this point of the relationship, this is saying this person does genuinely care about you. They're not behaving in the way that they are because they don't care about you or they don't love you. But it's up to you what you do with that information. You know, you can choose to just not go forward with the relationship anymore because it's not working out for you. For those of you who are not in a relationship, then I feel that message is coming through to say that there is someone on the way. This worry and terror about missing out, or about maybe going past your fertile years or something, is kind of acting as a block mentally for you, or is coming out through your body language even. I know it can be very hard to try and stop thinking about something when you're consciously thinking about trying to not do it. It can be a bit of a vicious cycle, but that's one of the messages coming through for you if you're in that situation. If you're someone who is considering breaking up a relationship because you feel unfulfilled, or for any other reason, then this is sort of acknowledging that you don't want to hurt the other person's feelings. Appreciate this moment. Number 33, every situation is an opportunity to grow and find love. So I think that's a lovely message about living in the moment. And, you know, if you're considering breaking up a relationship, it's saying give yourself maybe a deadline by which you'll have made a decision. So if it gets to this date or this many weeks or months from now and it's not changed, then I'm walking away. And in the meantime, just appreciate the relationship for what it offers you. If you're single, then this is saying, just sort of enjoy each day and try not to let your life right now, as much as you might be worried about not finding someone or not having children, settling down sort of thing, try not to let that cloud your enjoyment of the day-to-day, because otherwise it's kind of like you're wishing your life away until you get to the point where you find someone. It's like that you're seeing your life as unworthy up until that point, and you can massively, it could be 5 years down the line when you meet someone, say, and then you turn around and you massively and bitterly regret having wished away those 5 years and not enjoyed any of that time because you were so hoping to meet someone to make you feel complete. So take that message how it resonates with you. But I think it's such an important message for all of us to hear and to remember. Yes. Oh my goodness. Number 44. You can't go back to yesterday. Be in the present. So 33, 44. Maybe that's also for those of you who have this, decision piling up on you, worried about not being able to take it back, We've got number 45. Such a curious dream. Grounding. Returning to reality. Coming home. Number 38. You are rare and free. There are not many like you. And finally, number 11, changed in the night. You have changed quickly. Wow. So very sudden changes can happen over the next few months and possibly starting in February, group 2. The way that I sort of interpret all of these cards is saying that possibly you feel very alone in the choice that you're making or in the path that you're treading right now. You feel like everyone else is maybe settled down or happy in relationships, or other people can't quite understand your feelings very much, and that sort of alienates you a bit. There may be a little bit of thinking back to past relationships and thinking, should I have walked away and let that person go, or should I have told that person I liked them? There's a little bit of, I think, sort of, should I, could I, what if, why, ruminating going on. But you can't change that now. That's in the past, and it's all contributed to who you are as a person now. I just see so much restlessness in your energy. Like, I just need this to change for me and then it will be okay. Or I just don't want to make a change and then regret it. I don't want to make a decision that is all based on fantasy. There's so much here that's just like, I don't know even what's going on in my life right now, what's going on just in my head and my emotions, and what's actually going on for real. It's like you want someone to tell you, this is how you're feeling and this is what you should do. But ultimately you need to come to that conclusion yourself. Yes, ghosts of the past. Number 42, the past returns for a time. Maybe you've recently bumped into someone from your past and it's got you thinking a lot about that time of your life. Or maybe you have seen someone maybe that you don't speak to very often on social media, maybe someone from school or someone from your past or an ex or something, and it's just made you realize that's where they are in their life and this is where I am, and how since we parted ways has so much change gone on in our lives and we've sort of gone in such separate directions. I just think there's so much going on here where it's you sort of thinking like, oh, did I make the right choices? Am I going to make more bad choices in the future? What do I do? What's real? How am I feeling? Just really so much uncertainty. Really picking up on that restless energy. So number 20, oh my goodness, Feast of Plenty, choices and their consequences. So being very focused upon your choices and what consequence that might lead to. What it might mean for you to make such a big choice. So I really think maybe what's important or what might be helpful, group 2 would be to make like a pros and cons list if you are faced with this big choice. What would be the positives, what would be the negatives. Really sit with yourself and try and ascertain how you're feeling now. How are you feeling right now? Is it that you're feeling this way just because you've seen that post on social media, or is it that you're feeling this way just because of something that's recently happened? Or is this something that's been building up for a lot longer and is just now sort of reaching its zenith and you can't ignore it anymore? Really be sort of brutally honest with yourself about that, because that will help you to make your choice a lot more easily. And for those of you that are sort of single and stressed about that, it's kind of, what can I now focus on that doesn't lead me to be so upset or so sort of plunged into this mindset of, but they're happy, but why are they successful, but why do they have everything, you know, but I'll only be happy once I get a partner and can have children, but time is running out for me. It's all of these thoughts just swirling around, creating what I call the vortex in your mind, where you can't think clearly and you don't know what you're feeling anymore because it's such a swirling vortex and you're caught up in it, and people from the outside are just staring at you so confused, like there's nothing wrong with you. Like, why are you stressed so much? Just calm down. It's a really lonely place to be, group 2. And you've just got a million cards jumping out from this deck, so I'm going to take all of them. It probably fits with how much of a whirlwind you feel like your life is at the moment, like a roller coaster of emotions. So let's see what we have. So we have number 27, Oedipus, Oedipus. Number 99, Wegbereiter, Path Readier. Number 56, Dienen, Service. Number 19, Kontrolle, Control. Number 43, Überleben, Survival. Number 73, Glücklich sein, Being Happy. Number 59, Erfolg, Success. And number 16, Klagen, Complaints or arguments. Okay, so what can we see? So the control and arguments is kind of like potentially pointing out problems in a relationship right now, or it could be how you're feeling within yourself right now, like you're feeling very contrary, you're always sort of refuting yourself, or trying to force yourself to do this and force yourself to do that, or you feel restricted by outside circumstances and that's just causing more frustration within yourself. It could be that you have a long list of complaints against your partner that you just kind of want to put it down in front of them and be like, this is all the problems that you have, all of the grudges and grievances that I have with regards to you. And obviously that's not brilliant in a connection, but it doesn't mean that you can't work through it. Then we've got Oedipus, and Oedipus comes through usually for men where there is a difficult relationship with women. So you might, this sometimes, for example, shows up in men as a Madonna whore complex. So you can only see a woman as a nurturing mother figure, sort of kind, caring person, or you see them as a potential sexual partner, and there's no nuance, there's no in between. It can be sort of problematic views or expectations of women, for example, or like, as I said, a very black and white view of like, this person is nice, whereas this person is hot, etc. And that's something that can't easily be fixed. That takes a lot of very conscious reprogramming to work against the bias and the life experiences and early programming that's caused someone to think that way. And it's not something that you can change for them. So that could be something you're experiencing in a relationship, or it could be something that you feel is often leveled at you if you're not in a relationship, that you often feel like you come across these people with these strange views or these like huge hang-ups and issues within themselves, and you're just not prepared to fix that for them, which is great. You shouldn't be. And then here we've got all of the kinds of things going on. So service can be a great thing. It can also be something where you feel like you're constantly serving someone else's needs. You can be of service and you can be kind and caring, but you can also be a facilitator or an enabler or a caretaker. And it's like finding the happy medium there. Surviving difficult experiences, overcoming a difficult time in your life, and then obviously being happy, success, and the path being made ready for you, all sort of quite straightforward cards. But I really sympathize with you, group 2, because there's so much here that suggests that it's such a complicated situation for you mentally right now. There's so much feeding into how you're feeling, that I'm not surprised that you're struggling to figure out exactly what's going on, or exactly what you're meant to feel or meant to want to do in this situation. That's definitely an issue that I keep getting, is that I feel as though you want someone to say, this is how you should feel, or this is what you should do. And there kind of isn't any meant or supposed to or should in this situation. It's all about you and how you feel and what you need to do for yourself. So with these cards, we've got Wahrheit, number 8, very, very important card, truth. Like I said, facing the truth, being brutally honest with yourself and not holding back. Sometimes there are things we don't really consciously admit to ourselves, and it can be very uncomfortable to sit with that truth. But once we do, it's liberating. You see this enormous key to this little secret garden. That's what the truth does, is it sets us free. Number 83, sich ungewollt fühlen, feeling unwanted. Okay, we've also got number 45, Angst vor Versagen, fear of failure. And then number 1, Selbstliebe, self-love. And I think self-love is often touted in a very trite way in readings and in any kind of healing capacity. It's like, oh, once you love yourself, you'll feel better. It is extremely true, but I kind of hate saying it to people who are struggling because it's often the last thing on their mind. But it is genuinely true. If at any point you can start focusing on self-love and self-respect and sort of picking away at the maybe early programming that you've experienced in your life, it can really, really transform the choices you make, the way that you feel, the way that you live your life, your relationships with others, the way that you react to experiences. Ishtal, medicine woman, you are a channel for divine healing power. I'm kind of getting this vibe from you, group 2, as being someone who is very healing towards others but struggles to do that for yourself. Like I'm sort of seeing Amalthea or Keres, Demeter, sort of someone who is very caring and loving and giving and nurturing, but maybe doesn't show that to themselves. You might help others or be of service to others. People might call you an angel or say that you've really changed their lives or helped them through a difficult time in their life, but you don't show that love towards yourself. You probably give yourself a very hard time. So your healing message in your love life in February is number 7, create boundaries. I think that makes a lot of sense. Sud, okay, judgment or trial. And деловое предложение, that's an interesting card. Business proposal. Okay, so judgment and business proposal. I think the judgment makes a lot of sense because it could be that you feel you would be very unfairly judged by other people if you were to break off a relationship, or you feel like other people's expectations are crushing you at the moment. You want other people's opinions, but at the same time you don't. It's kind of like, I want you to tell me what to do, but I also want to come to that conclusion by myself. You're struggling to understand your own judgment. You're feeling like this person who is behind bars with everyone staring at him like he's some kind of animal, some kind of spectacle. And then деловое предложение, the business proposition, is kind of like an opportunity that comes to you, or you saying to someone, look, this is what's going to happen. This is my ultimatum, this boundaries and business proposal. If you don't change, then this. Or saying to yourself, right, after this time, if something hasn't changed, then this is what's going to happen. Oh, this is interesting. So this card came out for group 1. So the person coming your way in love in February, if you don't have someone in mind currently, is generous, outgoing, warm-hearted, and unconventional. Possible interests for this person include catering, dietitian, real estate, mechanics, family traditions, cooking, entertaining, charity, community, and politics. And the way that those cards work is that typically 1 or 2 of the adjectives or 1 or 2 of the possible interests will really fit that person. and the other ones maybe not so much. So just take whatever jumps out at you from that card. I did say to group 1 that I really felt that that was probably an earth element person, so someone who has sun, moon or rising in an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo or Capricorn, or who has predominant earth within their chart. Okay, and then your advice card is full moon in Aries. Cool your emotions. Okay, easier said than done, obviously. But I think your main focus, group 2, should be on finding that space where you can just breathe. Be completely honest with yourself. Let it all out, you know, let out that built up emotion and frustration and fear, because I think there's definitely fear there about making the wrong choice or time running out and things being outside of your control. And then take control in whatever way you can. Set yourself deadlines, set yourself clear expectations, take back control. Let's see what your charms and dice have to say, group 2. It's been a very interesting reading because I can just see how there's so much feeding into your psyche right now that it's just so overstimulated and overwhelmed. So I completely understand why you're really struggling to come to any sort of meaningful conclusions. Okay, so we've got the love and relationships ball. The rose quartz ball is showing up, which means that love and relationships are at the forefront of your mind. So thank you for that very obvious charm tin. We've got the mustache here, which points towards the divine masculine. So there is a masculine energy at the forefront of your mind, or a masculine energy who could maybe help you at some point in this month. We've got it twice, actually. The stag, divine masculine. It's also a springtime charm and a symbol of fertility. And then the divine feminine is there. Okay, so the masculine is landing on Oedipus and business proposal, okay, whereas the feminine is landing on such a curious dream, grounding, returning to reality, coming home. Okay, so draw your own conclusions from that. Sometimes the masculine comes out not as a person, but as your own inner masculine. If you've been watching my videos recently, you'll know this is a project I'm working on. I'm currently making an inner masculine deck, which I'll be bringing to the channel soon enough to share the wisdom that I've channeled from that. And that is to help you to improve your inner masculine traits. It's very much overlooked in the spiritual community. Something that really annoys me is that there's a lot of focus on the divine feminine, but the divine masculine is usually only mentioned when readers or spiritual leaders are sort of encouraging you to find it outside of yourself, like go and find a man, go and, you know, whatever. But not the masculine traits within yourself. And given that you've got create boundaries, assertiveness and boundaries are obviously a big masculine trait that needs to be worked on here, but also I feel knowing your own mind. Because one masculine trait that I think is possibly lacking here for you is where you seek validation from other people. So, for example, you have an idea or you come to a decision, but you seek validation from other people to tell you that's right, rather than just seeking that validation from yourself, getting your own approval and going, yeah, that feels right for me, let's do it. So that's another masculine trait to potentially think about working on. But definitely more about that in future videos when I get that deck finished. So what else do we have? We've got charming, which is the reverse of the Libra charm. Okay, so someone who's maybe a smooth talker or very good at pushing your buttons and talking the right way. We've got the psychic vampire charm landing on the control card, so someone who is draining, who drains your energy, or a situation that is very draining for you. We've also got the chilies, passion, excitement, intimacy, the lobster claw, not wanting to let go or struggling to really relinquish something. And finally, the dog. The dog can be a zodiac marker for someone born in the Chinese year of the dog, so you might want to check the important people in your life or check what years the year of the dog was, so that you can double check that against the people going on in your life right now. Also, the dog is a symbol of loyalty. So that can sort of tie in with the I don't want to give up on this. I don't want to seem disloyal or like a quitter or someone who leaves when things get tough. Let's see what your dice have to say for your final messages in this part of your reading. Okay, so we're rolling the 7th set of dice. Those are the Harry Potter dice. These ones. They can be a little bit difficult to see because these are sort of gold outlined, whereas the others are all a darker colour. And we're rolling all 9 of them for you today. Okay. Okay, so this one fell out while I was doing the shuffle. That's Nagini. Okay, so Nagini kind of talks about, again, feeling like a bad person. Nagini was originally a woman who is then cursed and turns into an enormous snake. So it can be that you feel cursed, that you feel as though there is just a heap of bad luck on you right now, or that you feel burdened, but also that you feel like a bad person. You know, like a villain or someone who has turned into something that you don't want to be. We've also got Harry wearing the sorting hat, which is such a perfect symbol of how you're making decisions right now and trying to decide what's right for you. And of course you got the little lucky cat with the sorting hat on. That was what you chose for this pile. So then we've got the person who is sort of sitting. And again, this really makes me think of sitting and pondering, sitting and thinking, sitting and reading. All of those things. We've got the parchment there. So again, reading, writing. There could be important documents that you're dealing with now. You could be sending like a big long message to someone to let them know exactly what you think so that they can't interrupt you and so that you've had time to fully formulate your thoughts and ideas. Yeah, it could be that you're just writing a letter to someone to get all of your thoughts and feelings out, and then you're just going to burn it or get rid of it safely so that it's like an emotional release kind of thing. We have the cauldron, processing something, being in a process. I don't think this is something that's going to fully resolve in February. I think you're still going to be either making your mind up in March maybe, or you've set a deadline for after that. The portcullis is where you're shutting people out, or you want to have some space. You want to just protect yourself and protect your space and boundaries. We have Dobby here, which goes back to that service message. Maybe feeling like you're a servant, feeling like you're always doing stuff for others but never for yourself, feeling like people are bossing you around or have very firm expectations of you that you're not prepared to fill anymore. What else have we got? We've got the mandrake. Okay, mandrake sort of makes me think of when people are just screaming at you. Maybe going back to this parchment message about you wanting to write down your feelings and send it to someone so that you can't be interrupted by them, or can't have them like stop you after one sentence and start refuting it or getting defensive. The mandrake makes this awful noise that's supposed to kill you if you aren't protecting your ears. So it's like screeching and people shouting at you, and it's like white noise and overpowering and deafening, where you feel like your own voice isn't being heard or your own power is completely being overridden by that experience. And then finally we've got Snape. Again, feeling like the bad guy when you're not. Keeping secrets as well, like all of this with the portcullis and the stuff about you feeling this way for a long time but not being validated by other people or not really sure you can share it with other people, just sort of fits in with this message of like, I have so much going on within me. I might not say very much or give anything away externally, but I have so much going on within me, and I'm such a complicated person, and I'm about ready to blow if I don't make a decision or tell, like, something's got to give, basically, is what I'm feeling for you. So I completely sympathize with you, Group 2, because it's such a difficult time for you right now, and I think it's not going to completely finish by February. I think you are still going to be dealing with some of this afterwards. But I think the most important thing for you is to either make a pros and cons list, give yourself a deadline by which you will, make a decision, ultimatum kind of thing. Or if you are someone who's not in a relationship right now, then it's mainly sort of focusing on other things. And again, that's very it sounds very trite when I say it in a reading, but it is trying not to wish your life away, basically. And if you can't find anyone to talk to about this, then writing it down and then burning it safely or destroying it in a safe way might be helpful for you, just to get those feelings out. So that is what I'm seeing. Very, very complex, but now you can go and choose your gnome. If you haven't already done that, please go back to the start of the video to choose your gnome. If you have chosen, then just jump to the timestamps and click on whichever gnome it was, if you remember which one it was, and there you will get your extra cards and also your channeled messages as well. So, deep breath, group 2, and I hope you get some extra benefit or advice over there as well. And I'm going to move on now to pile number 3. Hey there, group 3, welcome to your reading. If you chose Owlocen and the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot, this is going to be the main part of your reading, and then the gnomes will give you your extra cards, your channeled messages, and just make it more of a layered, personalized reading for you. So we're going to put him here. Okay. Maybe bring him forward a little bit. There. Okay. So let's see what's coming up for you in love in February. And I would love it, group 3, if you could subscribe if you haven't already. That means that you never miss any of my videos, because they always appear at the top of the YouTube homepage for you. And it also really helps out my channel as well. Okay. So we've got the World. Interesting card to start out with. Then the 8 of Swords and the 2 of Pentacles. Interesting. So it feels like some change is coming for you, group 3, and that you're sort of breaking out of a situation where it's felt quite stagnant for some time. Like maybe you've gotten very complacent, or it's become a little bit of a rut and you've been trying to juggle your interests a little bit, and now it feels as though you are moving out of that period into something different. So I'm very curious to see what the oracle cards have to say. Tarot always acts as like a portal into the reading for me, a little bit of a gateway. And then the oracle cards give us some much more specific messages, and then so do the charms and dice. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. Okay. So retreating, maybe you're retreating into yourself, for example, to do some thinking. Maybe you're just spending a lot of quiet time at home with your partner. See, I almost get the feeling that that's what you've been doing for some time. Like with the 8 of Swords, I was kind of thinking, maybe you've gotten comfortable in your relationship or being single, and now you're wanting to put yourself out there more, or you're wanting to go out and do more things with your partner. So read it either way. Whichever thing is a change for you, then read it that way, group 3. So then we have this card from the Lover's Oracle, which says, "My beloved, though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are always united, for love transcends space and time. Nothing is missing." So you could be in a distance relationship with someone, or you could just be someone who feels like you haven't met the right person yet. Even if you're currently in a relationship and you just feel like you kind of sense the energy of someone who would be right for you, but they're not physically around you. Maybe you have a crush on someone who's at a distance from you, or you can just sense what your perfect partner would be like, and maybe you've even sensed them in dreams or felt messages from them or something, but you just don't know them yet. You haven't met them. They're not in your life. Yeah, number 28, the Union of Hearts. A love connection defies explanation. And new love. Wow, 26. Embrace an opportunity for love in your work prospects or for spiritual growth. Okay, so either the choices that you make, because that says spiritual growth and work prospects, bring you closer to meeting this person or meeting a good match for you romantically, or you genuinely do just meet someone in February. But there's definitely a change coming your way in love in February. And I feel like it's to do with breaking out of a rut or breaking out of your comfort zone where you've gotten comfortable with the same routine or doing very similar things, maybe with your partner. And so your love is renewed by going out and doing more, or you meet someone by pushing yourself to do more things. And if you're physically at a distance from a partner that you are genuinely in a relationship with, and this is more like you sort of doing more things online with each other maybe, so it's like retreating from the outside world in the sense that you're in your home, but you are spending a lot of time there with your partner online. So number 38, you are rare and free. There are not many like you. So you might feel like a bit of an unusual person. Maybe you feel like you have unusual criteria when it comes to a relationship. Or just recognizing that you have a lot to offer. Like, there's a lot here that says, I know what I'm worth. I'm not going to settle. Ángel de los Muertos transitions to the spirit realm, number 16. So this could also be a message for those of you that are grieving a loved one. But I think as well the Ángel de los Muertos card really fits well with the world as this transition period, this change in your life where things are falling away naturally and you're making decisions that, you know, take you further away from one path and closer to another. We also have Fairy of the Highlands, number 20. It's time to be brave. I love that painting. I think Gismund did that as a commission for someone a long time ago, like more than 10 years ago, because I remember seeing it then. It's a really beautiful painting. So it's time to be brave. It's time to stick up for yourself, basically. With this, you are rare and free. It's kind of like asserting your boundaries, asserting what you need, asserting the fact that you won't settle. But I also kind of feel it's to do with getting out more and doing more things. You might have been someone who's gotten very comfortable being in the home over the past couple of years and not trying new things because that was a little bit frightening, or because it was restricted for so long you got out of the habit of doing it, and so it became effort or scary to think about doing it. And now it's like, do you know what, I am going to be brave and go out and do this, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to go to this new restaurant and try this new food, and it's a culture whose food I've never tried before and I'm a little bit unsure. Or me and my loved one are going to go to the theatre for the first time. Or I might not have anyone to go with, but I'm going to the cinema and I'm going on my own. And who knows who you might bump into when you're there. It's that kind of feeling. If you've not got anyone to go to a restaurant with, go by yourself. Restaurants are great by yourself. Genuinely, it's like you're really pushing yourself to reach outside of your comfort zone in this month, which is great. Number 26, gathering round, the power of community. Yeah, I feel like there's such a emphasis in our society on doing things together, doing things as a couple. Like, there are still lots of people that I know who would think it was like really frightening or really sad to go to a restaurant or the cinema alone, or to go on holiday by yourself. And for me, it's absolutely not frightening or terrible. It's great. Why should you pass up on lovely things just because other people are too busy to do it, or haven't got the money, or can't be bothered to do it? You know, you should go ahead and enjoy it yourself. But I feel as though you're a little bit like breathing in a lot of that pressure from other people, and you're afraid of how you come across to others, or you're afraid of biting the bullet and booking that ticket to do that thing by yourself, because will you enjoy it? Will I always be self-conscious when I'm there? And I think the answer is just give it a go. Just try it in February. And equally, you know, those of you that do have partners, I think you are trying new things, or you are trying to relate to each other in new ways, because you don't want to keep doing the same old things anymore and getting the same results. You want something different, and you want to expand and move forward and grow. I think that card also points towards potentially meeting someone while out in the community. So like while actually being physically out, not online or anything. Number 76, Held, hero. Number 43, Überleben, survival. And number 87, Nähe, intimacy or closeness. Yeah, so the held, you know, it's like, it's this bravery, isn't it? The hero, the bravery, the putting yourself forward and being this unique individual. Like, all heroes are unique individuals. Fionn McCool, Achilles, Odysseus, they're all very different from the other people around them. They have a unique ability or talent, or they have an unusual personality, the drive maybe to go and achieve things that other people don't. And that's what makes you special, and you should be absolutely so on top of that and so proud of that, because you have these unique skills and qualities. And you should feel like a hero for trying these new things. The survival. You know, again, this could be a message for those of you that have been bereaved recently or gone through a relationship breakup. You know, it's not necessarily a physical passing. It can just be that you've been through a breakup or you've been through a tough time. I think for a lot of you, it's more that you're just going through a set of changes, which can be unnerving or difficult to sort of get settled into, get used to. But I do get the feeling that because you're such an unusual person and you have these unique abilities and these unique talents, you've also maybe had more than your fair share of difficulties in life. Like, you've had more to deal with, more burdens, more challenges, more hurdles than the average person would have in their life. So you've survived an awful lot. And I think that intimacy card goes quite nicely with this message of there being a physical distance. So like, I feel you even if we're not physically near. I feel you even if I've never met you. I somehow sense what your energy is like, so I'll know it when I meet you. It's trying to weave in that long distance partner into your daily life and all of those things. Closeness doesn't just have to mean physical closeness. So then we've got Rückzug, number 63, withdrawal or retreat. So there's that word again. Zwiespältigkeit, number 52, ambiguity. And number 13, auf Wolken schweben, floating on clouds. I love that card. So yes, retreat. You may feel, for example, you've booked something or you've decided you're going to do something and you're frightened about doing it, so you want to back out at the last minute. I would say give it a go, honestly. It really feels like you've got an opportunity here to do something great and to really give something a try. But it's like there's just this double, you know, I think it could go either way, or yeah, it could be great, but what if it's not? You know, that's what's stopping you. But there's obviously going to be some beautiful times in February. I think that's wonderful. Auf Wolken schweben, floating on clouds. Possibly with those two cards, some of you are still processing a breakup. Like, why did this person do this? Why did they so suddenly, you know, drop things or change things or leave me in the lurch? It's possible that you feel as though a love interest is retreating from you, or you're pulling back and they're wondering why. But I think for most of you, it's to do with just you doing things in a very self-sufficient way, and also a little bit being afraid of that. So, Lakshmi, bright future. Love this card. Stop worrying. Everything is going to be fine. I love that, and that fits so nicely with this. Like, I want to pull out because I'm scared of what will happen. I'm scared it won't go well, or that I'll be self-conscious, or I'll not enjoy it. But look, everything's going to be fine. Your worries are what keep you in that dark, clouded space, when you could be floating on clouds, being really, really happy. So your healing message for your love life is number 21, love your body. So that can be to do with an overall low self-esteem, or it can be to do with an insecurity about one particular area of your body, for example, where you just feel like things could be a lot better in that area, or you feel like you don't want other people to see it or notice it. So that's your healing message. Métier. Okay, blizzard. Wow. I think that fits so well with the bravery. And like, I'm trying to find my way through this transition period. There's change going on. I can't quite see the path in front of me, but I kind of can if I squint. It's that kind of feeling, like I know changes are happening and I know I can't control everything, but I'm still pushing ahead anyway. I'm still taking those steps forward anyway, because I'm brave and because that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to stand here and wait for, you know, the change to be over before I make my decisions or make any moves. I'm not going to be in stasis for that long because, you know, who knows if I'll be able to go in that direction after all the snow's fallen. It might have blocked it out. I'm just going to keep moving forward and ultimately get to safety or get to a happy place. So you have really a lot of metal. It's interesting. This is called métiel, which means blizzard, but I really feel like you have a lot of metal as well. Interesting synchronicity there. So then you've got 2 cards for people coming towards you in February in love. So for those of you who aren't in a relationship, we've got peaceful, caring, charming, imaginative. Possible interests are skiing, botany, dance, jewelry, craft projects, art design, nursing, nature, animals, and geology. And the other one is creative, observant, daredevil, self-confident. Possible interests are comedy, magic tricks, archery, scuba diving, weaponry, hunting, aviation, skydiving, and motorcycles. So 2 quite different vibes. One who's very peaceful and one who's very out there. So it could mean that you've got, you know, this is a relationship you're in and this is a new person that catches your eye, or vice versa. It could be that you are having 2 options coming your way in love in this month, or it could be one person who has these kind of seemingly contradictory traits within them. They love to stay home and do things, but they also love to really go out there and be an adrenaline junkie. Okay, and then your advice card for February is first quarter moon in Pisces, honor your feelings. Okay, so let's take a look at your charms and dice now to get your extra messages. Overall, group 3, the vibe I definitely get from your reading is if I keep doing what I've already been doing, I'm just going to get more of the same, and that's not necessarily what I want. It feels like you want to shake things up, or you can sense that things are changing for you, and you're maybe a bit trepidatious, maybe a bit scared, but you are welcoming it at the same time. You're like, I don't want things to remain the same. I want something new, something more interesting, something more exciting or better to come my way. So let's see what charms we've got. We've got the crown, which is a symbol of sovereignty, respecting your own authority, making the choices that are right for you without feeling bullied by anyone else or coerced by anyone else. We've got the wasp, pain, hurt. I think that fits well with you either feeling like maybe someone you're with right now isn't a perfect fit for you, or you kind of know what you want, but you haven't met that kind of person yet, or to do with the bereavement or the recent breakup that's sort of clouding your feelings right now. We've got the past life relationship charm coming through, so that could be why you feel this strong connection to someone, is because you've known them before. We've got the chair, so household concerns being at the forefront of your mind. Maybe you're looking to buy a house soon, or you want someone to move in with you, but you kind of feel like that's a big step and I'm not 100% sure that you're the right person for me. That could be something that you're struggling with. The house obviously just sort of fits with this retreat message, and I feel like you're trying to get out of the house. You're trying to do things differently. We've got the other half, the flamingo, finding your other half. We also have the mouse on the ruble, which is about saving up money, and the happy couple. So I really do feel that there's happiness in your future in love. Maybe you don't meet this person in February, but it's like you're starting to sense what you need from a partner, and you might not be getting that from your current partner, or you haven't been getting it from past partners because there's maybe been a pattern, or there's been repeated dynamics or repeated personality traits or something in past relationships. But it's like, I'm looking for my other half. I'm not looking for something casual anymore. I'm looking for someone who really completes me in many ways. And this mouse on the ruble, the saving money charm, sort of fits to me how this was talking about new love opportunities in your work prospects, like something to do with the decisions you make about your work or about other areas of your life affects what's able to come towards you in love. So we'll do your dice now, group 3, to get your final messages from this part of your reading. So we're rolling the 8th set of dice for you. Those are the Adventure Time dice. These ones. And we're rolling 5 of them for you today. Okay, yes, so let's see what we have. We've got the snail, and this makes me think of sort of moving slowly towards your goals, maybe having a clear destination but not rushing to get there, like sort of saying to yourself, okay, this is where I want to be, but I'm not prepared to sort of rush towards it, or I don't want to rush into a relationship even if it feels right, because I just want to give something time to unfold naturally and to not have any more obstacles being piled up in its way. We've got the fist bump, which I think works well for wanting someone who really gets you, who really completes you, kind of like a best friend as well as a partner, or someone who just really understands you and is prepared to go through life with you. I feel like with this dice, he's Marceline's dad. I always forget his name. I think it begins with H. He's like a sort of demon prince or demon king or something. He is sort of represents for me someone who's very charming and maybe very powerful, in the sense that they might have a good job, or they might be really good in relationships and stuff, but they're not the right person for you. And so you might be going for these people who are really charming, or sort of even bad boys, or someone who's just like seems great on the surface, but once you get to know them, there's so much going on there that you just don't gel with. Maybe their beliefs aren't compatible with yours, for example, or maybe they are just really shallow or something like that, or they're quite manipulative. To me, that would just represent like the wrong person, but someone who might seem quite cool when you meet them, or might seem really, charming or good looking or interesting. So it could be that that's a dynamic that you've been noticing for a while in your relationships, that they seem great in the beginning. There's no obvious red flags, but the longer you stay with them, the more you realize this is not the person for me, or this is not going to work out long term. Okay, so then we've got I think this is Lumpy Space, actually. Lumpy Space, that's a place in Adventure Time, and this just makes me think of drama, just lots of stuff going on that's like dramatic or sort of scandalous, and everyone's gossiping, because that's how Lumpy Space Princess lives her life. And I realize this probably sounds completely ridiculous if you've never heard of Adventure Time or you've never seen it, but it's like, that's what I think of when I think of that, is like a very dramatic kind of soap opera type setup, where everyone is gossiping or getting involved, and everyone's like overly involved in other people's lives. It's too close for comfort kind of thing. And this fits in with how you want to eschew that, and you want to be more independent and more self-determined, and you want to go against maybe community expectations or other people's views of who you should be or what you should be or how you should act. And you just can't cope with it anymore. You're just like, it's too much for me. I'm not a dramatic person, or I'm not someone who feeds on drama and gossip. I don't like that kind of vibe. So I'm turning away from that. Okay, and then we've finally got this little sandwich guy. And I just think, again, that's to do with things going well together. Like the fillings being right, or the flavors going well together. You know, you put what you want in a sandwich because everyone has their own preferences, but ultimately it's, even if it seems a bit weird, it goes well together for them. So yeah, that's what I see with that, is this sort of someone who completes you, even if it doesn't seem like it at the beginning, or even if other people would be like, that's not the sort of person I would have chosen for you, or that's not the sort of person I would, you know, have expectations of you going out with or marrying or something. Maybe someone outside of your culture, for example, or outside of your social background, but it's someone that you gel with and who goes well with you and who complements you in that way. Like going back to the fist bump, you complement each other. Your flaws maybe outweigh one another's flaws, or your personality traits just sort of nicely balance each other out. That's what I'm feeling. So an interesting reading. Definitely there is a little bit of a tough time of self-determination and coming to terms with change, whether it's change that's already happened that you're still processing, or it's change that you are trying to bring about, or that you can feel is being brought about in your life. Ultimately, honor your feelings. Listen to how you feel and not how other people are telling you should feel, or how other people are saying they expect you to feel or would feel in your position. Try your best not to worry about things, and try your best to also get outside of your comfort zone a little bit and do some exciting things, because I feel like that's going to bring you an awful lot of benefit, group 3. So that is your main reading today. Now you can go to your gnome and get your extra messages from them. So you can either go back to the start of the video if you haven't chosen your gnome, or if you have and you remember which one it was, then you can just jump to the timestamps and pick whichever gnome it was and jump straight to that reading. So thank you for being here, and I'm going to move on now to Gismund, or Gnome A. Hi there, Gismund's group. If you chose Gismund or Gnome A as your gnome, then we're going to get your extra messages. As I said, it's going to be a few extra cards and also your channeled messages as well. So let me just open up to receive channeled messages first. I will be shuffling the tarot cards while I do this, because it helps me to focus in on my thoughts a lot more rather than just having my hands sitting idly. So let's see what we're getting. Color blue is coming through very, very strongly, as well as the number 8. And I'm seeing like standing on the top of a hill, which to me is kind of like a symbol of getting a higher perspective and being able to look at a situation holistically rather than being sort of plunged into the small details and the he said, she said. So there's a greater perspective of either your love life as a whole or of a particular relationship or situation coming your way in February. And blue obviously is a very calming color, and it's a very mental color as well, as associated with the mind and the intellect. So it seems like rationalizing, processing and understanding. Yeah, I'm hearing like greater clarity. And I'm also seeing someone taking a bath. So that could literally just be saying you are going to take a bath. And it's like a luxury bath, you know, something that's got some special products in. But for me, the taking of the bath is like a sort of a symbol of taking care of yourself and luxuriating and pampering, looking after yourself. So doing something special for you is really important in February. I'm also seeing a pig, so someone born in the Chinese year of the pig, potentially, being important in your love life. It's also a symbol of abundance. And I'm seeing the fish as well, so Pisces. So let's get you some cards. Gismund's group. Oh, I'm also seeing like a roller coaster as well, so up and down emotions, like lots of sort of highs and lows, and that could just be how you've been recently in love, like all of these ups and downs, highs and lows, or it could be how you're going to be feeling in February. But I definitely feel that February brings a greater understanding and clarity, and yeah, just a holistic understanding of what's been going on for you. Okay, so we have Sila, strength, Tuz Chash, the Ace of Cups, and it says udovolstvие, pleasure, enjoyment. And then we have Imperator, the Emperor. So we've got Leo and Aries showing up there, potentially also the water signs, given that we've got the Ace of Cups. And then we have this card which says Entdecke die Vielfalt. Auch du trägst ungeahnte Gesichter in dir. Okay, so that says discover the diversity. Even you carry these sort of unnoticed faces within you. So like these sides of yourself that have gone neglected or that haven't been given expression or that you're maybe even just not aware of in general. So I think that fits nicely with the sort of holistic understanding message that you got for February. Realizing who you are, what's going on with you and your partner perhaps, or what's been happening with all of the characters in your love life, why things have worked out in certain ways, or why you've acted or reacted to certain things in the way that you have done. So if we go back to the tarot cards, you know, I feel like there's a lot here to do with healing and enjoyment. So with the Strength card, I kind of get this feeling of overcoming emotional issues and kind of getting a feeling of things being resolved in that sense. Like you can move past things now, you feel stronger, you feel more whole, and those problems, those emotional wounds or triggers or sort of niggling worries don't seem to be affecting you anymore. It's like you can leave them at the door and move forward. And the Ace of Cups is very, very positive in love. It can signify finding love or gaining a deeper and closer relationship to your loved one or to your crush. So that's always very positive in a love context, and just in general enjoying yourself and sort of taking this month for all it has to offer love-wise, or taking a relationship for all it can offer you without worrying about the long-term future or anything like that. And then finally we've got Imperator, the Emperor. And this is a symbol of taking control, taking back your power and your agency, refusing to be a passive agent in your life or in your love life, making big decisions. Also, it's obviously just a symbol for men in general. The Emperor sometimes stands in for our inner masculine or for a man or masculine energy in our life who is very significant. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing in your little extra reading, is this discovery of a lot of stuff that's been lurking beneath the surface, or an understanding of things that have happened a lot more clearly, an ability to analyze or process them a lot more deeply and therefore move on from them, not have them repeatedly being brought back up to you for healing or for acknowledgement. It's like you're saying, look, I understand that now, I can let it go, or I can let that sink into my psyche, be absorbed, and no longer be floating on the surface, upsetting me. So that is what I'm seeing in your readings. I really hope you've enjoyed both of the readings that you've had from me today. Please do let me know in the comments what you thought, how they resonated with you, and of course it's great to know if the two readings that you had interacted well with each other as well. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to your spiritual team and my spiritual team for getting these messages to you today. Please do like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. That really helps out my channel and is a way to show gratitude for the work that I do. And if you are interested in what I do here on the channel and you'd like to get more involved with my work, check out the description box below or the comment that I post in the comments section, because they are always full of links. So from there you can head over to my Instagram page and follow me for daily oracle cards. You can head over to my Etsy page, book a private reading or healing session with me. I also offer information packs about your guardian angel over there. I would love it if you would consider heading over to Patreon. Over there you can support the channel more regularly, and in return you get access to exclusive content, which includes extra picker cards and giveaways and healing sessions and other things that I do. I have 2 wish lists linked below for new tarot and oracle decks for those of you who are kind and generous enough to want to send a gift to the channel. I also have my PayPal link for tips and donations, which support me in this work and help me to keep making these videos. So if you would like to leave a tip or a donation, any amount is gratefully appreciated and gratefully received. It really does help me out. And we are still having a discount running over with modern day manifestations. So there's a link below which you can click on that will validate the discount code, and then you can go over there and get 10% off beautiful handmade crystal jewelry with free international shipping. They're infused with intentions to help you bring the right vibes into your life or help you manifest what you're looking for. It's really beautiful. I thoroughly recommend it, and it's just so kind of them to offer us this discount. So if you click the link below to validate the code, then apply the discount code Violet at checkout, you'll get your 10% off your first order. So thank you so much as always for being here, Group 1, Gismund's group. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Take care. Hey there, Gunvald's group. Welcome to the second part of your reading. If you chose Gunvald or Gnome B as your gnome, we will get your extra messages, which include a few extra cards and also your channeled messages. So I'm going to open up to your channeled messages first. I will be shuffling the tarot cards while I say them, because that helps me to really focus in my mind rather than having my hands just sitting idly. So let's see what I'm getting for you. Okay, I'm seeing like a sun lounger, like a kind of deck chair, which suggests to me sort of a relaxed attitude towards love or a relaxed approach towards a relationship, maybe not wanting to rush something or not wanting to come across as needy or demanding, so just trying to be a little bit laid back. Maybe you have a casual relationship going on, or one that you're sort of happy with and you don't really have any particular changes that you're desperate to make to it right now, or you're not wanting to change your approach to love right now. And now I am seeing a very specific, very specific vision. I'm seeing the, I don't even know what it's called. The episode of the Pink Panther, the cartoon, where he's in Dracula's castle. I think it's called something like Pink Plasma, maybe. I'm a huge Pink Panther fan. I've seen pretty much all of the episodes, and this is, for those of you who haven't seen it, it's like an episode where he goes to Dracula's castle, and he thinks it's a hotel, I think, and he goes in, and when he realizes it's haunted, he tries to escape, and there's like a few ways that he tries to escape, but then by the time he gets out, the sun is rising, and so he's running away from the castle, and it's not there anymore, and Dracula and a monster are chasing him, and they disappear, and he doesn't realize he's running away from nothing. So it's an extremely specific and quite complicated vision, but I think what it's talking about is trying to escape something that is actually an illusion. So if there's something that you have been really hoping isn't going to happen, or that you've been trying to avoid or trying to completely get away from, it's saying that you don't have all the information about that situation, or it's saying that whatever it is you're trying to get away from is something that's largely being caused by your own perceptions or by your own mind. Now, that doesn't mean that other people aren't at fault. It just means that the situation is not quite as you're seeing it. So it's an extremely specific message, and it might only have some meaning for some of you, but that is like, I kept thinking, why is that coming up? And I had to keep addressing it because it kept popping up. So yeah, we've got that message coming through loud and clear. And I am also seeing like a jeweled crown as well. And so that is about your authority, your sovereignty, and your ability to make decisions, as well as recognizing your own worth. So I do think that all three of these visions are sort of interconnected with you wanting to be more self-determined, wanting to look after yourself more and avoid red flags, or avoid sort of getting into unhealthy dynamics in relationships. But at the same time, there is one situation where you either don't have all of the facts, or where the situation is being exacerbated by your own thought processes, or is just not quite as it seems. Okay, so that's quite an important message. I do keep hearing something like cool it, or keep cool, or keep your calm. So there is definitely this focus on being more relaxed in love. Yeah, and I'm getting the number 4 coming through, which is this number of stability. It's kind of when we don't want to change, or where we're happy with things as they are. And the color white is coming through. So we'll get your cards, Gunvald's group, because it's quite a lot of messages coming through. So we've got Semyorka Bulov, the 7 of Wands, and it says Raznoglasia, difference of opinion. Okay, so maybe that's what that Pink Panther reference is about. Then we've got Papa, the Hierophant, the Pope in that particular deck, and then Page Magnet, the Page of Pentacles, and it says Zayom, which means loan, getting a loan or loaning someone something. Okay, so we've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn showing up in this reading. Taurus especially because of the Page of Pentacles and the Hierophant. There's definitely a situation where you're feeling with the Seven of Wands that you're having to defend yourself, or you're having to defend your point of view. Either other people don't agree with you, or they think you should change your tactics, etc. The vision is coming through saying that there is an issue with either perceiving the situation differently to how it is in reality, or just not quite having all of the information to be able to make an informed decision or informed opinion about that situation. But equally with the sort of jeweled crown symbolism that's coming through and the messages of keep calm, like I really don't think that you should be bowing to anyone else's demands or anything. I think it's important that you do maintain this sense of sovereignty and the ability to make your own choices. I think you are on a journey that is just a sort of gradual path, this slow forward movement. But the Hierophant card showing up in the center is really showing how you're thinking a lot about your behavior, and you're trying your best to be your best self, or to be fair, or to be a good person, and that's really, really important. Or you have this strong set of values or principles that you're determined to stick to. Okay, and then your little oracle card for this reading is this one. I love the hot air balloon on it. Hot air balloons make me feel so happy. It says, wirf unnötigen Ballast über Bord. Hochfliegen kannst du nur mit leichtem Gepäck. Okay, and what that means is throw unnecessary ballast overboard. You can only fly high when you're carrying like light baggage or with minimal baggage, basically. So this could be to do with you choosing to move away from relationships where you feel forced, coerced, or in any way sort of not accepted. You know, I think it's fine for people to point out that we're not perfect and that we do have flaws, but if someone is continually making you feel bad for the decisions that you're making or who you are as a person, you know, they don't have to stay in a relationship if they feel like they're not compatible with you, or if they feel like they've tried to help you and you've not been open to it. But equally, no one should be beating you down into the ground, if you see what I mean. No one should be making you feel terrible about yourself, or always making you defend yourself or justify yourself and your choices and your past or your personality or your life in general. So if that's how you're feeling, then it's really important to just take a step back from those people. It's possible that you just have all of this in mind because you're determined not to get into that kind of a relationship again, which in this case, your spiritual team are just saying, yep, go for it. Gunvald is giving you the thumbs up and saying, yep, that's the good idea. You've got the right idea in that sense to try and back off when you feel like those red flags are coming up for you. So that is what I'm seeing in your reading. I really hope, Gunvald's group, that you've enjoyed both readings that I've given you today. Please let me know in the comments what you thought. I would love to hear from you and whether they resonated with you. Please do like, share and subscribe as well if you enjoyed this video. It really does help me to get seen more on YouTube, and it's a lovely way to show gratitude for the work that I do. And I want to say thank you to your spiritual team and my spiritual team for getting these messages to you today. Have a lovely rest of your day and a wonderful February. And of course, if you're interested in the work that I do, then do check out my description box below and the comment that I post in the comments section, because they're always full of links. So from there you can follow me on Instagram to get daily oracle cards in your feed. You can head over to Patreon. I would love it if you'd consider becoming a patron, because over there you get to support the channel on a more regular basis and also get access to exclusive content like extra picker cards and giveaways and healing sessions and other things that I do. You can head over to my Etsy page from those links as well to book a private reading or healing session with me. And I also offer information packs about your guardian angel over there. I have linked below 2 wish lists for tarot and oracle decks if you would like to send a new deck to the channel as a gift, if you're feeling very generous. Thank you so much to everyone who is kind enough to do that and who has been kind enough to do that, because a lot of my decks are gifts. And that really does mean a lot to me. It's always very special to use those decks. I have a PayPal link below as well for those of you who would like to leave a tip or donation. It is very gratefully received, and I very much appreciate anything that you can give, because it does help me to keep making these videos. It helps the work that I do. And we are lucky in that we still have a discount running with Modern Day Manifestations if you would like to get 10% off beautiful handmade crystal jewellery, which is infused with intention so that you can bring the right vibes into your life or manifest what you're looking for. Head over to the link below, Modern Day Manifestations, that will activate the discount code, which you can then apply at checkout. So the discount code is Violet. That will get you 10% off your first order, and they do have free international shipping as well, so I thoroughly recommend them. Thank you again for being here. Have a lovely rest of your day. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Hey there, Gaia's group. Welcome to your reading if you chose Gaia or Gnome C. As you know, we're going to get you your extra messages here, which includes a few extra cards and your channeled messages as well. So I'm just going to open up to some channeled messages now. I'm going to be shuffling the tarot cards while I do that because it helps me to focus my mind in on what's coming through. So let's see what channeled messages I'm getting. Straight away, I'm seeing like an outdoor setting. So I know that in the Northern Hemisphere, it's pretty cold right now for a lot of us, but I do feel as though you are going to be spending time outside in a love capacity in February, and it's a very specific sort of scene that I'm seeing, because I'm seeing sort of like stalls and getting something from a stall and sort of eating it and enjoying it, and there's a sense of fun that I'm feeling from this. So it's either like a market or like kiosks maybe, but it might be a market where you're able to maybe buy local produce, for example, or buy treats and things, or it's like a fun fair where they have all different kinds of stalls and it's exciting and there's that sense of fun. So there is some kind of outdoor event with stalls or marquees that a lot of you are going to be going to in February as like a love meeting, like a date, for example, or spending time with a loved one, or where you're going maybe hoping to meet someone there. I'm also seeing the colour green coming through quite strongly. And I am just seeing like sweeties. So there's just this sense of sweetness and fun and almost kind of innocence. There's like a childlike vibe going on here. It's like I want to have fun, and, you know, I'm not too worried about the long-term outcome or the long-term consequences. I don't have those sort of expectations right now. I just want to have fun in the moment and enjoy myself. Yeah, I just keep getting the color green coming through. I'm also getting the mythological figure of Guinevere from the Arthurian legends. Not sure what she's doing here, but she's showing up in the channeled messages. And yeah, I'm literally just hearing like let your hair down, and I keep seeing like a woman smiling with like full teeth on show, like the big bright smile. So there's definitely a lot of fun to be had in February in love, and just a desire to let go and not worry so much, and just have that you know, not low expectations, but sort of not heavy expectations. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm seeing. We'll look at your cards now, Gaia's group. Okay, so we've got Page Trash, the Page of Cups, and that says влюбленность, which means falling in love or being in love. Семерка Trash, the Seven of Cups, and it says pravda, truth, in vino veritas and all of that. Тройка монет, the Three of Pentacles, and it says ekonomia, economy or saving. And finally, Pятерка мечей, the Five of Swords, and this says svoboda, freedom. And you see how this is also kind of like an outdoor eating kind of vibe. Like I literally was feeling that sort of market, fun fair kind of feeling. So maybe like a food fair or a food festival or something. I don't know. It just felt like you were getting food outside, whether that food was like an ice cream or a sweetie of some kind, like one of those big lollipops you get at fun fairs, or whether it was actual cooked food. You know, it differs for everyone, but I was just getting that feeling of it's outdoors, it's fun, and there's food at stalls or kiosks or something. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces are showing up here with the Page of Cups, and obviously the appearance of the Page of Cups and the word влюбленность, being in love, shows that there is a special person on your mind in February. So either someone that you are dating, in a relationship with, or someone that you have a crush on. This card, the Seven of Cups, is about truths being shared. This gnome has drunk too much and now he's singing the truth to anyone who will listen. But equally, it's about options, isn't it? And with this Seven of Cups being about your options, and then the key word for the Five of Swords being svoboda, freedom, it feels like that's where this childlike vibe is coming in, of not really wanting to be tied down, like just wanting to have some fun and not worry about the future in February. And then your oracle card is this one, sei mutig, sieh der Wahrheit ins Gesicht. Okay, and that means be brave, stare the truth in the face, or look the truth in the eyes, if you like. It's something like that. So the fact that we've got truth coming through twice seems quite important, that you're able to sort of acknowledge what it is that you really want and what you're really feeling in February. And this saving message is interesting. I'm wondering if it's not so much about money. I mean, it could be, that could be an issue in your love life, or it could just be something on your mind that's maybe affecting your relationships because you're focused on it so much in February. But I think it's more to do about like saving your emotions, like holding back emotionally. You just want to have fun with someone without getting too emotionally invested at first. You know, it's like, I don't want to invest my resources until I'm sure that I'm ready, or until I'm sure that this person is right for me. So there's a lot here about exploring your options and having fun, but being truthful with yourself that that's what you want to do, and being truthful about your feelings, whatever those may be. So that is what I'm seeing in your extra reading today. Gaia's group, thank you so much for being here. Please do let me know in the comments what you thought of both of your readings. I hope you've enjoyed both of them, and I hope they have interacted well with each other as well. Please like, share and subscribe as well if you enjoyed this video, because that really helps my channel massively, and it is a lovely way to show your gratitude for the work that I do. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I want to thank your spiritual team and my spiritual team for helping to get these messages to you today. If you're interested in the work that I do here and you would like to get more involved, check out the description box below or the comment that I post in the comments section, because they are always full of links. So from there you can follow me on Instagram to get daily oracle cards in your feed. You can head over to my Etsy page and book a private reading or a healing session with me. I also offer information packs about your guardian angel over there. I would love it if you would head over to Patreon and consider becoming a patron. That's where you can offer more regular support to the channel, and in return you get access to exclusive content like extra picker cards and giveaways and healing sessions and all other kinds of things that I do. I have 2 wish lists linked below for new tarot and oracle decks for anyone who is feeling very generous and would like to send a gift to the channel. That is just super kind of you, and thank you so much for considering that. I also have a PayPal link for tips and donations if you would like to leave a tip, or I mean anything, any amount is greatly appreciated. It really does help me in the work that I do and supports me in continuing to make these videos. And we do still have a discount running with Modern Day Manifestations, so if you would like to get 10% off beautiful handmade crystal jewellery, which is infused with intentions to help you bring the right vibes into your life or to manifest what you're looking for, then head over to the link that's down below. That will activate the discount code if you click that link, and then you apply the discount code VIOLET. At checkout, you get 10% off, and they offer free international shipping on all orders as well. So thank you again for being here. Have a lovely rest of your day and take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Hi there, Gjord's group. Welcome to your second reading if you chose Gjord or Gnome D as your gnome. We are going to get you some extra messages, including a few extra cards and also your channeled messages as well. So first of all, I'm going to be opening up to your channeled messages, and I will be shuffling the tarot cards while I do that, because that really helps me to focus in on what's going on. Helps me to focus my mind a lot more. Ooh, so straight away I'm seeing like a few symbols that all kind of mean the same thing. I'm seeing ice, specifically something frozen. I can see that there's something in the ice, but I can't tell what it is. I'm seeing the Hanged Man, and I'm also hearing the word stasis. Okay, so all 3 of those things tell me that it seems as though there has been a bit of a hiatus or a blockage in your love life recently. It could be that the relationship you're in doesn't seem to be moving forward. It could be that you seem like you're not finding anyone, or like there's just been no progress or improvement in your love life for quite some time. Okay, I'm seeing two fish, but they're two different kinds of fish, so I don't necessarily want to say Pisces straight away. I'm seeing a salmon and a sturgeon. So I don't particularly have any special meanings for either of those. Salmon makes me think of the salmon of knowledge in Celtic folklore, sort of wisdom and inspiration and understanding. Sturgeon, I mean, it makes me think of Scotland, but I'm not really sure what else it makes me think of. I know they live for a very, very long time, so maybe it's to do with patience, or it's to do with feeling like a very long time has passed, for example. I'm not sure. Maybe you want to look up the salmon or the sturgeon in symbolism or in dream symbolism and maybe post it below. It might help someone else who chose your group, God's group. Let's see what else I'm getting. Yeah, just the colour grey. Like, it always very much feels like you're doing a lot of reflecting, and you're just kind of unsure of like what you're feeling right now. It just feels like I'm just stuck in this position of not really knowing where I'm going or what I want to do, really. Yeah, I've just seen prison bars, so it really feels like situations outside of your control are very much affecting how you're feeling right now. I just heard Northern Ireland. So maybe that's a validation for some of you if you're from Northern Ireland, or your partner is, or if there's some connection there with like a show you watch or anything else. Sometimes it can be the most random of things that just validates that it's your pile. And names beginning with K as well. Names like Kayla, Kevin, etc. It could be a surname as well, potentially. Calvin. Just really strongly getting like a K name. And then I am seeing a couple of things again. I'm seeing like a starry night, which then immediately showed me like Van Gogh's Starry Night, which is significant, I think, because he painted that from an institution. So there's that feeling of being trapped or feeling like you don't have a lot of control over your life. But I saw the starry night followed by a dawn. So it feels as though it's trying to tell you this situation is finite. It will not drag on forever, whatever it is. It might feel like it's been going on for years and years, but it will not go on forever. And eventually there will be an end, and there will be a dawning of a new day, which feels a lot brighter and rosier. And I'm seeing flowers as well, so possibly you receive flowers maybe from an admirer in Valentine's Day, or you treat yourself to some flowers even, because you think, well, I'm not waiting for anyone else, you know, to treat me. I might as well treat myself. I'm now just hearing like, you go, like you keep your chin up, keep your head up, you keep doing what you're doing because you're doing great. So a lot of support from you, from your spiritual team for you. And I just saw a tiger as well. So maybe someone born in the Chinese year of the tiger is important in your love life, or maybe that's you. Or it's just talking about the sort of spirit of the tiger as someone who's very strong and powerful, but even they can be caged sometimes and feel like they have no control. But it doesn't stop them being this magnificent creature. So let's get you some extra cards, Gjord's group. I just heard languishing as well. Like you really just feel like you're languishing. So Kolesor is the first card you've got, which I'm so pleased you have. Kolesor is the Wheel of Fortune. Then you have Sapožnik, which is great, the magician, or the shoemaker in this particular deck. And then we have Четверка чаш, the Four of Cups, and it says Tradicja, tradition, underneath. So that could be something that's holding you back, is tradition or other people's expectations, other people's opinions. Yeah, so, I mean, the Wheel of Fortune and the Magician are brilliant together. I mean, the Wheel of Fortune talks about a change in your circumstances for the better, so something improving for you, circumstances that feel out of your control, suddenly changing for the better, or your luck improving, opportunities coming your way very suddenly. And the Magician card is a card that says you can do this by yourself. Like the Magician is saying you have all the power, or you have all the knowledge, or you have all of the ability. You don't need anyone else's approval, or to spend any more time reading about something, or buy anything else to help you do this. You can do this by yourself. And the Four of Cups is sort of representing this feeling of apathy and languishing, as I said earlier, which could be connected to culture, expectations, opinions of other people, or just not wanting to sort of break the status quo, maybe. We'll get you an oracle card too. Okay, so we've got this card which says, Nimm das empfangene Licht mit hinab in deinen Wurzelbereich. Okay, really cute. That says, take the light that you have received down into your root area. So either that means that your root chakra could do with some strengthening, and that's the seat of your existence where you feel the most safe and secure. And if you have a weak root chakra, you probably feel very insecure just in your life in general. Maybe feeling like you're always in survival mode, or you're feeling like just things in general are outside of your control. So that does fit a little bit with this vibe. But it's kind of like saying, like, we are offering you healing, or you can even heal yourself in many ways, and you just need to direct that light or that inspiration or that sudden hope that you have down into your very roots, and use it to ground yourself and stabilize yourself so that you feel more secure as you move forward. It's like getting it out of the headspace and the like everything that's going on up here, and sending it down to your roots so that you feel strong and able to move forward. I just heard Colossus. Okay, so I think that's tying in with the tiger symbol of someone who's very powerful and mighty, and yeah, absolutely able to make important decisions for themselves. So you go massively, Gjord's group. I'm really rooting for you. There's that word root again. Just really feeling like you can, whatever it is, you can pull it off, or you can change it, or you should be proud of yourself and 100% believe in your abilities, because I do, Gjord does, your spiritual team does, and there's so much that you can achieve in February. So that is what I'm seeing in your reading today. I really hope you've enjoyed both readings that I've given you today, and I would love to hear in the comments section what you thought, whether they resonated with you, whether they interacted well with each other, etc. Please do like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, because that really does help out my channel a lot, and it's also a lovely way to show your appreciation for the work that I do. If you are interested in the work that I do check out the description box and the comment that I post in the comments section below. They are always full of links. So from there you can head over to my Instagram page and follow me there for daily oracle cards. You can head over to Patreon and support the channel by becoming a patron. That gives you access to exclusive content, including extra picker cards and giveaways and healing sessions and other things that I do on an ad hoc basis, but it also allows you to support the channel more regularly. You can head over to my Etsy page from there and book a private reading or a healing session with me, or get information about your guardian angel. I have 2 wish lists linked below for new tarot and oracle decks if you're feeling very generous and would like to send a gift to the channel. That is incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much for wanting to do that. I also have a PayPal link for tips and donations which support me in the work that I do. Any amount is very much appreciated, and it really does help me to continue making these videos. So thank you so much to everyone who does leave a small tip or donation there. And we do still have a discount running with Modern Day Manifestations. We have 10% off for Violet Stream Tarot viewers over there. So if you use the link below, that will validate the discount code, and over there you can get 10% off your first order of beautiful handmade crystal jewelry. There's free international shipping, and those bracelets are infused with intentions to help you bring the right vibes into your life or to manifest what it is that you're trying to achieve. So as I said, use the link below. That activates the discount code. The discount code is Violet, and you should apply that at checkout once you've decided what it is that you're going to buy. So I really do recommend their beautiful products, and I want to say thank you to your spiritual team and my spiritual team for helping us to get these messages to you today. Thank you for being here. Have a lovely rest of your day, Gjord's group, and take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.